Hi, my name is Patrick. This specific video is regarding how to prepare for geometry for the CAT examination. Geometry is important, so let's try to understand that. Okay. We do train students for CAT and the other entrance exam. This is for anyone who's preparing for CAT or anything else relevant to it. So if you look at CAT specifically, geometry is on average 4 questions out of the 22 questions that come along. If you look at the last couple of years, there have been approximately 22 questions per section and around 4 questions are geometry, which means it accounts for around 20% of the exam. So good weightage. If you're really aiming for high, you can't leave geometry. You have to solve geometry. But if you're aiming for maybe just clearing the cutoff, then you can leave geometry, but you need to be good at all the other areas. Geometry itself is 20% weightage. If you leave geometry, then you can't leave any other area. You need to be comfortable with others. So your strategy will depend upon what you're targeting. If you're really targeting good marks, geometry becomes really important. Else, you can maybe leave partially, do what you're comfortable with, or do leave completely, but ensure that other topics you're good at. So anyway, if you're preparing for geometry, how are you going to prepare? So first thing is build fundamentals. You should know the fundamentals. Understand what it comes in the exam is purely your fundamentals that is there, not any hi-fi theorem, etc. So you need to know what is there in the school level books, not beyond it. So don't look at complicated formulas, etc. Like Apollonius theorem or something like frustrum, volume of frustrum. All that is not important. Anything that is complicated is not important. What CAT normally asks is fundamentals, basic, equilateral triangle, square, and the application. They make it a little difficult, but questions or properties are basic fundamentals. So ensure that you go to your school textbooks to understand the fundamentals and make notes so that you understand the fundamentals and go to it on a regular basis. Once you know the fundamentals, the basic properties, because geometry has a lot of properties, so if you make a notes of various properties and understand it without getting into too much complex formulas, I think that should suffice. The second step would be then solve sums that are related to the application of theories that you learn. So that means you have learned the concepts, solve some sum based on those concepts so that you're comfortable with those concepts. And revise basics regularly because you tend to forget as you when you go. But at least the theories, etc., just go to it on a regular basis. So it's there in your mind when you're looking at it. Third step, more practice required. That means you now solve LOD2 sums, a little tougher sums. You have already solved the basic sums. But focus on tougher sum. You can look at a mocks. Questions on a mocks are normally a little tougher. You can go to the mocks and try to solve that. And write down your approaches. Okay, if a question is really very tough, you can skip it. Too lengthy, skip it. But yes, if it is based on the basic fundamentals that you apply, then solve it. But do write down your approaches. If you get a new approach to solve, do write down your approach. It helps so that you can apply that same approach to the other type of questions. I hope this will help you prepare for geometry. Understand that even if you don't do complete geometry, ensure that you do basic fundamental geometry, basics, circle, square, equilateral triangle, 36-90 triangle, 44-90 triangle. And the basic, I think that should suffice. And that should help you to get through. Hope this helps. Thank you.